Hey everyone, welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, and we last left off, we were doing the investigation for the episode 5, day 1, Rise from the Ashes. Today we're going to be doing the day 2 trial former. I'll be honest, I don't know what the former implies, but it looks like it's a day 2 trial. So what we've learned is that Emma wants us to look into her sister's case because her sister is an attorney and looks to have murdered someone and stuffed them into Edgeworth's car. So, so Edgeworth is back in the spotlight. So let's go ahead and look into this case a little bit more. February 23rd. 9:34 a.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby number 2. Yeah, Lana. There we go. How did the investigation go? It actually went alright. Frankly, there's still a lot of gray areas. You're exactly right. Or rather, the whole thing is a big gray area. Thank you for saying that out loud, Emma. Don't worry about me. No matter what the outcome, I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? It looks like she's killed someone and stuffed them in Edgeworth's car. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. A defense attorney should never believe their client. Oh. The defendant is called to the trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. Like, the way she looks? Because, yeah. But there is one decisive difference between you and her. And that is... you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. Good luck. My first trial without a Fae helping me. And no one's going to bail me out this time. Aw, Mia. I'll be alone in there. No, you won't. No, you won't. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. That's what I expected right there. That's what I expected Emma to help with the science. Cool. So, since Maya's not here, we have Emma. So, this is 10 a.m. same day. Oh yeah, Edgeworth is supposed to be, yeah. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth, come on! Come on, Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceeding today, Mr. Wright. Of course not, Edgeworth. Of course not. It's not like I saved you or anything. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment is made by here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Edgeworth. Your opening statement. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has been committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she is rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's parking lot. Wow. He's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. Oh. The death sentence? There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. How can you be a professional witness? Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution itself brings the first witness, which is Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The cough-up queen. Yes, selling lunches. Haven't I seen you somewhere? Oh gosh. The judge has not seen her before, has he? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar. I've never eaten caviar before. Judge is wolfing it down. And for you, I have a Fiesta Bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? I think we know her profession off this, okay? And you, sir? The fingerprint lunchbox. It's too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Edward, just take it. Just take it. How does it taste, Your Honor? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty, it hurts. Oh. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What does pickled tapioca taste like? I have no idea. Name, profession, now! Me? Oh, the name's Angel Star. Don't forget it. I find myself running a lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Judge, calm down. Hurry it up. Very well, Edgeworth. Yes, we should get back to it. As we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime, Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional witness. Huh? What is... Exact, thank you for Thank you. Okay, I need to know what that means. Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was a special investigator with the police. Oh. That's why she means professional. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Star was a detective? Ah! I know who you are. Cough up. Cough up Queen, Angel Star. Your Honor, long time no see. Very well. You may continue with your description, Miss Star. Just who is this lady, please? If I have the court's attention over here. She has a map. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block for prosecutors. B block, visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. Okay. Oh, that's Edgeworth's car there in the very top corner. Keep visitors from taking up prosecutor spaces. Yes. Crime scene took place by a car in the back of A block in the car's trunk. Killer stabbed the victim with a knife, went to drive the body out, but unfortunately for her, there was a witness, and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Okay, we got the parking lot floor plan. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright, I can't agree on principle, Your Honor, okay? It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remain? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Star. What are they talking about me? Why? Okay, so we're going to press all of this. Okay, wait, this is our testimony. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was a finely honed detective's intuition at work. Though through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garnish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into the Detective Goodman's chest. Bring a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching. As you can see, there is no room for doubt. Edgeworth, don't look smug. Okay, don't look smug. It doesn't work good on you. Actually, it looks wonderful on you, but the key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than that. The point of the knife, which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? We're not crushed yet. We're not crushed yet. I'm still thinking about it. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. It's merely a flesh wound, thank you. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. 'Tis only a flesh wound. Okay. So, pressing with Q again. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. Okay. How do you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic adherence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Why did he make a bow? Given that they are used to the erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Huh! Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have some personal against prosecutors? I felt I had to find my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I still would be one. You were laid off, she was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I'm a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. Press it. This boyfriend. He's the detective, yes? Not that boyfriend. The security guard. Oh yeah, multiple boyfriends. I remember. That boyfriend. You have several? Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, the other boyfriend. Care to join? Judge. The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. Oh my gosh. I will stick with the lunches, thanks. Note to self, the judge had to think before he replied. The security guard room and lot A block. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from up there. Oh, you're correct. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by the car? Oh, by car. Since I was a visitor now... Oh, I was a visitor now in Park Block B. So she was in B Block when she witnessed the crime. I think you're exactly right. When I sensed something, perhaps it had been finely honed detective's intuition at work. That sounds... You sensed something? So you're saying you have a premonition of the murder? It felt like... How would you say? Oh, yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. What? I have no idea what that means. Exactly, I don't know either. Speaking of detective's intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. A young cheese, you say? A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the street, a greenhorn. Then I must be hard, yellowed, and sharp as a tack. Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. Oh, Emma. Don't say that out loud. In any case, there is... oh, there in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garnished car. Okay. By a garnished car, you mean? Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth's? Oh. Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's. Wasn't it? Indeed it was. Edgeworth being pulled back in. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw? You're sure it was the defendant. I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just see what we can, even if we don't have any proof. We always nitpick. Witness! In your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are biased. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. Huh. I'd fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside and chewy on the inside. Oh. That was inspiring. I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism. I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. She's a picture? A photograph? You took this? This is pretty cut and dry. Look at that. Okay, she has a picture of her wearing a bloodied coat touching the car. The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and I snapped a picture. In fact, One of my lunch boxes is rigged with a camera. You have a lunchbox camera? I suppose that's more exciting than hanging it around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photo just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. This most certainly is the defendant, yes. Yes, it's Lana. So what was the defendant doing at the time? Was holding a knife in her right hand. Okay, let's press that. Tell me more about the knife. Well, the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It was your knife, after all. Yes, that's about right. 4 inches, yeah. Prosecutors are by nature well-versed in location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify as to their ability to kill an egg. I mean a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor. So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? She thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. This, I feel like there's probably got to be something to it. Tell the court why you didn't try to stop the crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? That's a good point. The defendant has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Yes, the next moment, the chief prosecutor brought it down, the murder weapon. Ah, I see. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. 'Tis but a flesh wound. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me, yeah. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Just keep let's just keep our heads cool. Press the witness a bit, shall we? Don't smile like that. Oh, I'm sorry for smiling. I'm sorry. Okay. Somehow I always knew this day would come. Okay, so we've already pressed on every single bit. Okay, let's look at our stuff again. So we have the picture there. We have that picture. We did just get this. And it doesn't... I don't see a knife on her. I mean, she could have left it in the body. I don't know. I don't know. Let's try to present this. Oh, the music changed. And you witnessed this. You saw Miss Skye stab the victim with a knife. As I already said, yes. I swear on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. Judge, come on. Try to be impartial. But isn't that odd? Look at the photograph. This is a photograph you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? Why is Miss Skye not holding the knife? Good point. Good point. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it's still stronger than you ever... than your feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken a moment after the stabbing. You're correct. There's the blood. And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Yeah, yeah. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on prosecutor's coat? Ah, yes. It's hard to tell, but it could be blood. Or it could be a juice stain. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem except you. Mr. Wright, are you just going to sit there and take that kind of abuse? You got a better idea? I'm sure we have to object to this, okay? Because there's that... yeah, let's object. Okay. Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment that she witnessed the crime. I think you're nitpicking there, Phoenix. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it. If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Skye was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed without a pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in the photograph. Gloves! Oh, that's true. She wore gloves so she wouldn't have fingerprints on it. Surgical gloves are made of thin rubber most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. Oh. Edgeworth. Edgeworth's got a good point, okay? These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder is a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. Murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it. Okay, let's press her on that. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves? The gloves were admitted as the evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves, kind used for autopsies. In other words, she came to do murder. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off by force. The force, Miss Starr. She's got things all planned out. All planned out. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. Gotta think of a way to show that she wasn't premeditated. It's only a flesh wound. Okay. Okay, so we've already done that. So. Let's go back to the last one where she's taught. Yes, this. Okay. Now, let's try the knife on this. No prints. Witness, do you know what this is? She already told us she knows what it is, Phoenix. Are you trying to test me? I sell lunch boxes for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it was my knife. How does she know it was in the trunk? A bloody murder weapon. Yeah, it's defendant is the chief. The defense has requested. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? You didn't hear me the first time? In your testimony, you stated that Lana planned the murder. And that's why she was wearing those special clothes. Then why didn't she bring a knife? Phoenix, is that what you're going to say? Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? That's a good point. Oh. Knife just happened to be in the trunk of the car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are going to plan a murder, you don't forget the murder weapon. Actually, you could forget the murder weapon, then the murder never happens. But, oh, did we do a flesh wound to her? Order. Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister is as good as free. Don't say that. No. Edgeworth's got something. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. Humble pie? What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself by thinking that the tide has turned. That's exactly what I was thinking. Not over such a trifle detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah! The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defense, Lana Skye murdered a detective with a knife. That still is a fact. Well, a possible fact. That is the only thing the prosecution need to prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know, as well as I do, that she planned on killing him. It was planned. Oh. I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? Ha! How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Okay. So, her deduction. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. Oh, this is her deduction, not what she saw. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure Chief Prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge a knife in and again and again. That was short. That was short. Victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So if I order a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? It depends. Are you? In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. Again. Okay, let's try this again. She intended to murder Detective Goodman? How do you know? You said that, but you haven't told us how you know. That's what I'm about to tell you, Rookie. I believe what she just said was a mere prelude to the story she's about to tell. Try not to interrupt her again. Rookie! Huh. Now, never interrupt a storyteller. It's like pulling a bun out of the oven half-baked. Something half-baked here, alright. It's you. Try not to confuse the defense witness. You're not very quick on your feet. Now, why did you believe the suspect had intentions of murder? Her actions speak for themselves. Okay, she called the prosecutor. You have no proof that Miss Guy called him. You have no proof that she didn't. Fair point. Mr. Edgeworth, any thoughts? There's no record of a call made on the defendant's Miss Lana Sky's phone. She might have written him a letter. Come on! You could at least have a public phone, at least. In any case, the victim came to the prosecutor's office where he was murdered. I'm sure he had a reason to be there. Witness, why do you think it was the suspect who was summoned the victim that day? I'm sure she had a grudge. Oh. Okay, why a grudge? Why do you think? What kind? I wouldn't know that. Of course you don't. That's because she didn't have a grudge. Oh. Rookie. I have a lunchbox here. What's inside? How am I supposed to know? See? We agree there is a lunchbox here, but we don't know what's inside. A person's life is like a lunchbox with pretzels. Don't you agree? I get it. That's why my lunch was so salty. This judge is very good with metaphors. Oh, isn't very good. Suspect had a grudge against detective. Will you tell us your bias for thinking this? It's simple. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge a knife in again and again. I think that was the last bit. A human machine, that's a contradiction. Please. Can't you find fault with something of substance, Mr. Wright? Note to self, Mr. Edgeworth's sigh smell like citrus fruits. You say again and again. How many times did she stab him exactly? That's a good thing. We often say chop into 1,000 pieces, but we don't actually mean 1,000 pieces. What difference does it make if the deed is done? How could she get mad at me? Let's just say she stabbed him several times and leave it at that. Leave it at that? This is a murder case, people. Come on. Mr. Wright, you should speak up if you have an objection, you know. Miss Starr has turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we first met her. The short wick burns out the fastest. It's a scientific fact. Okay, thank you for that. I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax. Even a really short wick will burn longer. Obviously, more scientific testing is required. Okay, so now we've pressed everything. Now we have to find some sort of... Okay, let's look through this. Plunge in again and again. Okay. Let's look at our stuff. Ooh! Ooh! There we go! Death due to loss of blood. One knife wound. One knife wound. He was not stabbed several times. There's one wound. Unless she stabbed exactly into that same wound, doing literally nothing. Let's present this. You say she stabbed him again and again. But you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. A moss? I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Star. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Ah, ha. What a hunk! He's my hero. Emma? It was my objection. Well, witness. You got the crime scene set, right? That actually... Is that rice with ketchup on it with a knife in it? Not a knife, sorry, a fork. Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such a mistake are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood. When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. And tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify. Testify. Oh, she's going to say she sold a lunch to her that had ketchup in it. Like an extra ketchupy one. Her red muffler looked like a blood to me. Muffler? That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Let's press on it. Her red muffler. Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. She can be easily hanged at the moment's notice, I suppose. Oh, she does wear that. She was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But wait, isn't it odd that you mistook that for splattered blood? Well, people often mistake my beard. Are you gonna finish that? For a bib. Oh, a judge with a bib. That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes. Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest. Are you saying she's been stabbed? However, the autopsy report is clear on the matter. There's only one knife wound. Apparently, Miss Starr didn't entirely sure of her own testimony. Mr. Wright, this is our chance. Chance for what, I wonder? Miss Starr had turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Oh, more stuff about the wick. Okay, so that is all of that. So, let's go back to the very last. Yes, this red muffler. Yes, the whole scene. So, what stuff do we have that could help with that? None of this stuff. We got the murder weapon. Parking stuff, no. Blood loss. Victim's memo. Her phone. I mean, her phone might do something. She's not wearing the scarf. That's what it is. Okay, so she was not wearing the scarf at the moment the crime was taking place. Unless she took it off mid-swing with a knife. So I say we present this. Objection! Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? They're both hitting her with objection. Objection! The suspect was not wearing a scarf or a muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. Thank you, Edgeworth. Thank you for saying what I was about to say. And you've proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be. Only a professional lunch lady could be utterly clueless. Congratulations. Perhaps you finally found your calling in life. Edgeworth does not like this woman. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection? Chopped liver? Come on. But it was there. A scarf. No, not that, but something red, really. Well, now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude. But back to business. What? Very well. Witness, continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Are you sure? She couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. Most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Well, let's read it. Apprehending the suspect. Okay. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights, and arrested her on the spot. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what I had my confusion in earlier. The chief prosecutor made the escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile. You're quite determined about this scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. Of course I do. That's me, Angel Star, the cough-up queen. Wasn't a very good metaphor. Snake is kind of cobra. Cobra is type of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. I think everyone is. Look at her cute face! Her cute face when she's writing down all the scientific stuff. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Oh, I remember seeing that. Yeah. Oh, she's beautiful. But deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman, rawr. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will. At least Edgeworth is on our side this time, okay? He's actually helping. Okay, after the murder, the suspect attempted to run. So where is this partition? Okay, that checks out. That checks out. And the oil drum should be right next to it. So this means this wall next to the car. That's right. Yep. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do then? I quickly caught her and explained her rights. And arrested her on the spot. You said quickly. Were you close to the suspect? She was in Block B. How did she get there quick? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her for more detail. Press her, yeah. I like to see this on the floor plan just to be safe. The Lunchland car was right there. Exactly. There's a chain link fence right there. How did she get there? She was a visitor, thus she parked in P Block. So you witnessed the murder here. The murder was happening here. That would make it about 30 feet, yes. Is that correct? Yes. But there was a chain link fence. Thank you, thank you. I went over it, of course. Over? How big was that fence? Amazing! The cough of queen, lunch lady, athlete indeed. I would have taken her a little time to climb the fence, exactly. So she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. The ladder? 9 feet high! How could she do that, okay? How could she do that? Unless she climbed on top of that car. There's no ladder. I couldn't have climbed that. So how did Sky not get away? Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. Okay. She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? Please. If I remember exactly, I would have told you in the testimony. Anyways, all I heard was her say the word muffler. Maybe she meant something on the car. Oh. What if there's something in the muffler of Edward's car? We'll have to check that next time. Just one word. Yes, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else. Yes, the chief prosecutor was on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean. Ask further. My phone, do you mean? This phone, discovered at the crime scene. Yes, ultimately. My memory is like a salmon heading upstream, you see. No, the court does not see, Miss Starr. Chief prosecutor first attempt to use the phone hanging on the wall. Okay. Yeah, there was a phone there. apparently it was out of order. I think it was. I think it was. I think we checked it. So she used her cell phone. Indeed, emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witness. Good. Whatever happened to good testifying? You should, of course, add this to your testimony. The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. Okay. How she tried the phone on the wall, but had to use her cell phone instead. Okay, let's press her on that. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? Ha ha ha! I was going to ask the same thing. If only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. Okay, telephone right there. She ran. So, she stabbed the victim, ran behind the partition, tried to pick up a phone, but it was out of order. Then she pulled out her own cell phone. Then she jumped the fence like a superhero. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. And when I boldly grabbed her arm. Okay, is it just me, or is it kind of hard to imagine her being able to overpower Lana? Chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this. What is it, Mr. Wright? Okay. But she didn't do it. Do you believe me? Yes. Oh, there's one last thing we needed to. Okay. She made escape. Okay, but against me, resistance is futile. She made to escape. Can you be more specific? She brushed aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of lard on a pate of foie gras. Huh? She even kicked over an oil drum at me. An oil drum? Wait, the oil drum was on the other side of the wall. She was at the phone. How did she kick over the oil drum? There was an oil drum laying on its side at the scene of the crime. But it's strange. She wanted to escape. Why didn't she just run the other way? Yeah, exactly. Ah. Yeah, why did she run back that way and kick an oil drum when she could have just run out the door? That's right. She doesn't make any sense. She would have run from behind the partition of the oil drums. Excellent. More mysteries. I wish we could solve a few of these before finding more. That's true. I'm sorry my sister is so suspicious, Mr. Wright. Not as sorry as I am. But she didn't do it. Okay. So, we're going to have to present something. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the cell phone on the wall bit right here. So, let's show the parking lot floor plan. Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Skye. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it up. It all up. Let's look at the floor plan. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. Ooh, actually, how did she take the picture? She was taking the picture from like this. Like she would have had to be like right over here to take that picture. However, if that's true, she couldn't possibly have seen Miss Skye make the phone call. That's true. She was behind there. Unless she saw the phone off the cord. Maybe that's why. Off the hook. I believe you see what I'm getting at. Emergency phone was on the back side of the partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. That's true. Wow. We're just beating her up. Oh my gosh. Order, order. What is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch. She's coughing up lies. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me to question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness is told. Here's where the counterattacks begin. The witness lied about what she saw. Maybe it's the order of events, too. Ooh, or where she saw it. Yeah, that makes more sense, okay? Because she didn't see it, I guess. But where she saw it, because she could have been closer. She could have been in parking lot A. Because that's where her boyfriend was. Miss Guy tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What's significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Star to lie about it. But see, the witness did actually see Miss Guy using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location, you say? Was she up with her boyfriend? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Okay. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? Okay. Place she was at. I'm wanting to say she was right up there. She could have seen it from right up here. Let's try right there. Oh, wait, no. No, security room. That's right. That's where her boyfriend is. I thought she said something about him being, like, up above. But no, security room. This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room. Indeed. Yes. It's built on the second floor, so you can see the entire lot. So it's just right there. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness not being a part of the prosecutor's office, she couldn't have parked in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony, you said, you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Star, how many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables would turn. Today a man has got the better of Angel Star. Well, thank you for admitting that. Order, order, witness. What have you done? You've used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. Is she talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright? Doesn't this strike you as odd a little bit? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make sense. She could have said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was a defendant who stabbed the victim. It still stands. I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury, you know. She knows that. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Yep, she was in the security guard room. She lied about being in B block and jumping over that fence. Angle of view, distance to the crime, difference. Why would it be difference in lighting? That doesn't make sense. It had to be distance to the crime, right? Yeah. Changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright. But one look at the floor plan is quite clear. Distance between the guard shack and the car is 30 feet, about. I don't see how that would change anything. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. That's true. Instead of jumping over the fence, she could just literally run out of the guard shack and just get there. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there? Seeing the crime where you arrested Miss Sky? You, yes. You ordered the squid wheels, right? No, I did not. Quality of my lunches have gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch and my fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Boysenberry for your boyfriend? He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed a crime from the glass-walled station. Oh, okay. Before I knew what I was doing, I found myself. But the door is locked. I couldn't open it. So she had to run all the way downstairs. Oh my gosh. She had to run a long way. And then she jumped the fence. Did she not lie about the fence? That's why I had to go through the visitors parking lot in B. That's quite a detour. So she really did jump the fence? It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the crime scene. 5 minutes? That changes things considerably. But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic sporks. Oh, you have fine plastic sporks. May I have one? You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention. More caviar! Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely. Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this? We surely have a raise objection. Well, let's do that. Okay, 5 minutes between the witness and the murder, the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time. Pasta, if you like to. I got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange. If you were a criminal, what would you do with the 5 minutes, Your Honor? Clean up the crime scene? Run? I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Probably run. Guess I'd flee the scene, yeah. Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run, but this time was different. Miss Sky dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. And true criminals would act this way. It's inconceivable. Oh! Oh! Another flesh wounder. Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth is the next witness ready to go. Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it. We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close. I'm afraid that's the cough-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned. Dang! Oh, hold it. Who? Was it cough-up queen? Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That one she tried to foster off on me. I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. What was that? Another lunchbox? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask you, Miss Starr. Ah. Is this your jumbo lunchbox? A triple-decker! Out of difference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. Like the lunchbox, the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. Okay, what has she got? Thought we were done. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now to the matter of the victim's shoes. Did not bring this up. 2 types of blood were found on these shoes. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. So there's both their blood. The shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. What? There was blood found on that shoe? Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence too? Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. She's right. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. Oh my gosh. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? I see. It seems Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested as a member of the forensic department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Oh, she got you, Edgeworth. Even the general public was announced the official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, Edgeworth is seething. Oh no. Oh no. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. You could at least study some evidence law, really. The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness. Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. Okay, we got a shoe. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may continue your cross-examination. This is long! Oh my gosh. Okay. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. Okay. Press. Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? Guess you could say I just wanted people to look at me. Look at the results. Oh. How many times do I have to say this? Okay. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing. Then why don't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy and vile known prosecutors. Falsified evidence, rearranging testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. This is when the suspect is admitting she did it. But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let's just get this over with. I did not bring this up. What? You found the shoe at the crime scene. I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful. Like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off the shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe is my secret weapon, if that should happen. So this fashionable basket I have here. It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. In any case, you removed the valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now tell us what you did next. 2 types of blood were found. One, of course, the victim's. Okay. You brought it to the forensic department? Yes. Shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it. Man was stabbed, after all. And that blood belonged to the victim. As I said, there were 2 types of blood. The other matched the defendant, Miss Lana. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with the blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie? Speak up! Well, blood comes in 4 types. A, B, O, A, B. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold... in cold blood. Okay. That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can differentiate between a million types of all different blood tests out there. Which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to one person. Or so I hear. That's pretty specific. Yeah. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. But they said there was a very little doubt it would be anyone but Miss Lana Sky. So, suspect's blood was found on victim's shoe. That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. Flawless, decisive evidence. Are you sure about that? Oh! The peppered fish... Oh. Peppered fish guts. Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client. She's enough for hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe? A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? There has to be a problem with it, okay? I would say there has to be a problem. Maybe there's a problem? I say there's one critical problem with the decisive evidence. I'll give you a peppered fish guts now. Let's hear what you have to say. Show us a problem with the evidence. Oh, no. Oh, there's blood on the bottom. The blood on the bottom? I wonder if you noticed the blood on the bottom of the shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed, there's quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. Yes, so they walk through the blood. What possibly could contradict about the blood on the bottom of the shoe? Okay, what if we present the crime scene photo again? No, I don't, that might be what I want. Is there anything else here? We'll do the crime photo. We'll do the crime photo. The problem is in the footprint. A footprint. Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why aren't there any bloody footprints found in the scene of the crime? That's a good point, unless she cleaned it up. As you can see, there were no traces of any footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about the shoe. This picture only shows a part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. I checked! Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. Order, order. What? Huh? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that we lack a footprint is a contradiction. But then, we have to ask, why wasn't there a footprint? Oh! There has to be a reason. Think, Mr. Wright. Think. I don't know why it's not there. I'm just gonna go at finding contradictions. Maybe Edgeworth will do something. Edgeworth, please? Help me? Help me? Help me help you? I see. Now I get it. Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There's one vital hint to the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. Chief Prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hand aside, kicking over an oil drum. She's beautiful, but deadly, a predator, this one. I thought that was a strange thing for a normally cool-headed chief to do. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that? Yeah, yes. I'm not so sure. I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though, apparently, you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory. Witness, well, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? To clean up the evidence. The suspect knocked over the oil drum for one reason only. To erase the bloodstains that could become evidence against her. Oh. Well, that ties things up pretty nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. You're not wrong. That reminds me, Miss Sky's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she'd cut herself when she stabbed him? So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe. I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please. What do you want me to do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it, but... Enough. There's no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor. But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water. This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. Please, please. Someone say something. Hold it. Little girl. What did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say that Angel Star, was on the prosecutor's side? Well, yeah, you are. Huh? You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing bloody footprints. Well, I thought you had your fill, but there are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox called evidence. Oh. Witness, don't tell me you're having something else. The time for deliberation is past. Any further comments will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. Look at this. A photograph. I had just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. I see no room for error in this evidence. Mr. Wright, wait. Look at the asphalt. I can't see the asphalt because you have the thing. Hey, it's clearly wet. It's wet. Yes. Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. And it seems sister wanted. What? I'm sorry, Mia. Right, wet or not. Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. This was the last piece of evidence. Very well. This time, I'd like to declare a verdict for good. Objection! Your Honor, wait. What is with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? No, you cannot. Not since Mr. Wright has been here. Whatever it is, can it wait? No, it can't. Then it'll be too late. Look at this photograph. This is the trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, Mr. Wright, are you saying there is a problem with this latest evidence? Yeah. I'll think it later. Yeah. There is a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. I suppose since we've come this far, should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Okay, the knife. Yes, the muffler. The problem is this photograph here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler. Wait just a moment, Mr. Wright. Edgeworth, Your Honor. You just said muffler. Whatever I see, no trace of muffler or scarf or any kind of this photograph. A muffler is a part of a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Come on. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system in a pipe. I see. I see. What's this suspicious-looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler? So what if there is something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with the case? Absolutely nothing. Sorry, Miss Starr, but it was not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important in the case. You said as much in your testimony. She mentioned muffler. She definitely mentioned muffler. Let's hear, Mr. Wright. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth and mufflers are related. The phone call. The word muffler. Yes, that's it. Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's why she had me confused. Muffler? Ugh. Could it be that the muffler she heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Oh! We need to go there to that car. Well, it seems we have to suspend proceedings. Suspend? I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any questions unanswered, we do disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. Whew, that's close. But we made it the last for now. This court will adjourn for 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all. He's still hungry. To be continued. Okay. So, what it looks like is that the trial is going to continue on to the next episode also. That's the reason why it said Day 2 trial former. So this is going to be Day 2 trial latter, I guess, or whatever, after they get the evidence. And then we'll have to figure out what the evidence has to do with the case. So yeah, a lot of stuff. Very long episode, considering. But yeah, I'll go ahead and leave it off there. And next time we'll continue on with, I guess, the not investigation, the trial, I guess. So yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I will see you guys next time. So, bye-bye.